Now, when it comes to Counter-Strike, your combo says a lot about you. To people in the skin community, there's always one question I see all the time, and is that, how do you ball on a budget? You know, truth be told, I was broke like you guys before, but you know, I want to help you guys out a little bit. So in this video, I've made a few combos that I want to showcase to you guys. Now, before we get into combos, I will say I do got a Twitch channel, and I do got a Discord. You know, feel free to join. But with that being said, let's get started with the first combo. Okay, now for the first combo, I was looking for a combo for the furry enjoyers that play Office. So I end up going with Tony the Tiger gloves. Sadly, in CS, these are the only orange gloves, but upside is for, you know, being the only orange gloves, they are pretty good. And for the knife that I chose to matches is the Rust flip knife. Now, my opinion is we gotta bring back flip knife swag, because ever since like 2015, people just stopped using flip knives for some reason. So I said we gotta bring it back. But the reason I went with the Rust coat is that, you know, it more matches the color in the middle of the gloves instead of like all the bright accents in the palms. But like, unlike, you know, where you got this more brighter orange on the side of the gloves and like these brighter like accents around the fingers, the Rust coat more matches the colors on the like the middle of the palm or like middle of the hand. So that's why I went with Rust coat. But I will say, if you do get the Rust coat, you gotta get something like for the float like 07 and below. But if you get something like 06 or like higher in Rust coats, the Rust of like finish isn't going to look as clean. Now, one more thing before we move to next combo, I will say, if you want to elevate this combo a little bit more, yo, get yourself a Viper sister. Like, her tan beauty just like pops this combo a lot more. So I recommend, if you got the money for it, get a Viper sister. Okay, now for the next glove, we got Black Book Specialist. I think these are mid gloves. Not gonna lie, they are very mid gloves to me. But there is one pattern I do mess with heavily. Now, if you can find this pattern, if you can get your hands on it, I do recommend going this one pattern. And that pattern is the dead pattern. Dude, I don't know, but like seeing the dead text in like in this font, it's so tough. This is just like one of the most like toughest patterns in like CS. I just love the theme of Black Books, even though I think they're mid. And the knife I pair with these gloves are the Huntsman Laminate. Now, for obvious reasons, the handle just matches too well with the Black Books. But the main reason I chose the Huntsman is I feel like, now, with Black Books being like an edgy glove, I feel like we had to go with like an edgy knife. In my opinion, the most edgy knife in CS is the Huntsman. Now, okay, now I wouldn't say this is like opium or anything. It's just more like urban darkwear mixed with like graffiti themes. If you get yourself the dead pattern Black Books, I think this is a pretty good combo. Now for the third combo, I went with duct tapes. And duct tapes, they have swag, like just like a special type of swag. But also, these are just like the homeless man gloves. This combo is meant for broke people, and we're getting the homeless person mindset. I've been seeing a lot of videos of those guys in meta glasses giving like homeless people big ass knives. So I thought, let's go with the big ass knife with this combo. And I went with the bayonet. Now I will say, bayonet is kind of a chud knife in my opinion. I know, like, why get bayonet when you get the N9 and N9 just mogs? But you know, remember that we are working with the budget here, so we gotta go with the bayonet to, you know, save some coin. Well, overall, this is like my homeless man combo. We got the duct tape gloves and, you know, the courtesy big ass knife from the meta glasses people. Okay, now initially I was gonna go with leather hand wraps, but I saw the prices and I gotta say, like, what do we all do? Yo, leather hand wraps shouldn't cost a rack. So I'm not sure what y'all doing with that market manipulation. So we had to go with, you know, plan B. I went with constructors. And to match with this glove, I went with another Rust knife, and that's going to be for the Huntsman. Pretty much same thing with the first combo. You'll want to get yourself a nice high flow Rust coat to better color match the gloves. And also, same thing, get yourself a Viper sister. Honestly, just get yourself a Viper sister in general. Viper sister, probably one of the best T-sided agents out there. She's such a babe, bro. I think anybody would enjoy having her company. But let's move on to the next combo. Now for the next combo, I went with Diamondback driver gloves. Are such like an underrated gloves. You know, Diamondbacks is another glove that's also game manipulated, because I don't see nobody run this. I see no one run Diamondbacks. And I will say, like, come on, bro. Like, let us use Diamondbacks. Enough with that rant. For the knife I went is with the Stiletto Scorch. Now, when I look at this combo, I just think like I can see like a villain having this like an old Western, or like, you know, this is like something a James Bond villain would have. Very clean combo. Since we're still on topic on villains, I thought we would make the Joker like budget combo. So for the gloves, I went with the Hydra Emeralds. Green on the the Hydra symbol and the green on like the wrist are very nice. While making this combo, I was thinking, what kind of knife would the Joker use? I landed on one knife, and that is the stiletto. He's a guy that would like fidget with something. For a budget knife, this is probably the best knife that you could like fidget with. But this is my budget Joker combo. Now for this next combo, we might be pushing a little bit out of the budget. Okay. It all kind of depends on what wear King Snakes you got. I say you should go field tested. Now, ever since the October update, King Snakes have become such affordable glove that I think everyone in CS should at least rock King Snakes at least once in their lifetime. Because King Snakes, let's admit it, they are the best white gloves in all of CS. I went with one of the best knives in the game, and that is the Talon Vanilla. The Talon Vanilla is such a clean, basic knife. That ivory handle just like it goes too well with so many different gloves in CS. And guys, come on, Simple uses Talon knife, baby. He's a Talon user. If that doesn't want to get you on the Talon train, I don't know what will then. This is probably one of the best combos in the video. It is good, but it is a little bit more pricey. Just keep that in mind if you are looking at this combo and looking about picking it up. Now, for our last combo, I thought I had to get one sports glove in here. I chose one of the most underrated sport gloves in all of CS, and that is Arids, the Tim gloves. With Arids, they are kind of expensive. You have to go with Battle Scar Arids. And with Battle Scar Arids, such a faded glove and like super washed. And for the knife, I went with this combo, the Flip Knife Safari Mask. The Arids Battle Scarred, they have a lot of fade and they're really washed out. So I thought the Safari Mask is the best knife that can match that. With the green, like darker handle, I think it also matches with the palm of like the inner of the hand. Now that's going to do it for this video. I hope you liked it. You know, this video is for those people that are balling on a budget and just got their first paycheck at their day job. If you want to, feel free, come join the Discord. We can talk about more skins, or, come join my Twitch. Sometimes I go live. So if you want to talk about shit there, you can. With that being said, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.